Welcome back to the epic battles between Dr. Fate versus Zatanna. Before we dive deeper into the analysis, I just want to say that I truly thank you very much. In the matchup between Dr. Fate and Zatanna, Dr. Fate is often considered to be vastly superior because he wields the power of Nabu, a lord of order with divine capabilities, transforming him into a cosmic sorcerer far more powerful than even a highly skilled Homo Magi like Zatanna. Although Zatanna is extremely powerful, her strength is constrained by her reliance on casting spells through reversed speech, whereas Dr. Fate possesses near absolute power and can bestow cosmic abilities upon his host, making him resemble a god rather than a human spellcaster. Dr. Fate is regarded as one of the most powerful sorcerers in existence. Across many generations, different individuals have worn the helmet of Nabu and carried the title of Dr. Fate, but the most widely known incarnation remains Kent Nelson, the first to don the cloak of destiny and become a symbol of supreme arcane power. The fusion between a human and the ancient entity Nabu created a Dr. Fate who transcended conventional limits of magic, reaching multiversal tiers and even extending into higher dimensional levels. In this state, Dr. Fate is capable of directly intervening in the physical structure of the universe, preventing the total collapse of reality when standing alongside the Spectre. On numerous occasions, his power has been affirmed as comparable to that of the Spectre through multiverse-defining confrontations. Dr. Fate has battled Mordru, proving his mettle against one of the most dangerous dark sorcerers, while also demonstrating power equal to Arion, the symbol of ancient Atlantean magic. His ability to harness creative energy allows him to generate explosions powerful enough to send shockwaves across the multiverse, shaking the foundations of countless parallel realities. At higher dimensional tiers, Dr. Fate represents absolute order in the eternal struggle against chaos. Nabu is regarded as the strongest embodiment of order, and the conflict between the Lords of Order and the Lords of Chaos determines the fate of all reality. Dr. Fate does not merely participate in this war, but actively shapes its outcome. He created the Helmet of Fate, a divine artifact that contains an entire universe within it, serving as proof of his rare creative power. Defeating Yanar and Vandimon, two entities capable of shattering the multiverse and threatening the balance of existence, confirmed that Dr. Fate is not merely a sorcerer, but a pillar that prevents reality from collapsing into eternal chaos. The power of Dr. Fate lies not only in destruction, but also in preservation. When Kent Nelson merges with the will of Nabu, magic becomes the language of absolute order, regulating space-time and causality. He can read overlapping layers of reality and repair metaphysical fractures before they spread. Ancient wisdom guides every decision, forcing power to serve balance rather than domination. This restraint is what makes Fate more terrifying than any seeker of destruction, because he triumphs through enduring stability. Dr. Fate possesses speed far beyond the limits of light. He can keep pace with the Flash in moments where time itself is bent, and react precisely to the lightning-fast attacks of Superman and Martian Manhunter, beings who already exist beyond the universal scale of reflex. Not only is he fast, Dr. Fate can also sense the helmet of Nabu as it moves at speeds sufficient to surpass even the moment of the Big Bang, reaching what is described as divine velocity. At this tier of power, he is recorded as being far faster than Superman, and easily comparable. He can attain states of movement and combat that are immeasurable, existing and traveling within spaces where the very concept of existence has yet to be formed. Dr. Fate manipulates energy in all forms, capable of projecting, absorbing, and restructuring it at will. He controls objects through thought, employs telepathy, bends reality, manipulates time and souls. His invisibility and concealment abilities allow Fate to vanish from all levels of perception. He controls blood, manipulates and alters biology, and teleports across space and multiple dimensions. On deeper levels, Dr. Fate also manipulates empathy, memory, and morality, creates perfect illusions, dominates perception, and perceives branching lines of future possibilities. Cosmic awareness allows him to observe reality as a whole, while his healing, resurrection, and immortality render Fate nearly impossible to eliminate. Most importantly, he possesses near absolute resistance to mind control, reality distortion, and void-based powers, affirming that Dr. Fate is not merely a supreme sorcerer but the embodiment of absolute control in the face of chaos. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and enable notifications so you can watch the earliest videos. Thank you very much. Zatanna Zatara is the embodiment of pure Homo Magi blood, a natural-born sorceress whose power extends far beyond the conventional boundaries of magic. Among the ranks of heroes, she holds an irreplaceable role within the Justice League, and especially Justice League Dark, where Zatanna stands on the front lines confronting threats born from dark magic and metaphysical forces. Her presence is not merely one of combat strength, but a stabilizing force when the world is torn apart by ancient mystical laws. Zatanna is the daughter of Giovanni John Zattara, a legendary stage magician, and Cindella, a true Homo Magi. From early childhood, she was guided by her father along two parallel paths. One was the art of performance under stage lights, mastering illusions that deceived the eyes and emotions of audiences. The other was a far more dangerous and demanding path, where Zatanna learned to touch true magic by speaking spells in reverse, a language capable of bending reality itself. It was this fusion of performance, discipline, and arcane knowledge that shaped her distinctive presence, both graceful and terrifying. Zatanna is recognized as one of the most powerful sorcerers in the world. She commands both mystical energies and cosmic-level forces, fully capable of manipulating reality according to her will. Although she commonly uses spoken words as the trigger for her spells, Zatanna is by no means limited by this method and can cast magic through other means when necessary. Her power and knowledge have reached a level that the mystical community regards her as a sorceress supreme, one who can shape the balance between light and darkness. She understands that every spell carries an unseen cost, and every distortion of reality leaves aftershocks within the cosmic order. For this reason, Zatanna chooses balance over display, using magic as a means of protection rather than domination. This clarity of mind is what makes her a spiritual pillar of the magical community, a reminder that the greatest magic lies not in raw power, but in control and compassion. Zatanna demonstrates her abilities most clearly through backward magic, a form of spellcasting that appears simple yet possesses the power to affect the world itself. She can control the weather at will, turning heavy rain into gently falling flower petals, or even reversing the day-night cycle of all Gotham by transforming night into daylight before swiftly restoring the original order. This showcases the precision and intent behind Zatanna's control over reality, where power is applied with exact purpose. Her destructive capability is equally formidable. With a single reversed spell, she can completely disintegrate objects at the structural level. The Batwing armor was once erased in an instant when Zatanna spoke the corresponding incantation. Alongside this, Zatanna can also release streams of electrical energy directly from her hands, mystical power manifested in electromagnetic form, capable of suppressing or disabling opponents in moments. Zatanna also displays astonishing creative abilities. She uses mystical energy to construct physical structures such as platforms, standing surfaces, or protective shields, transforming ideas into tangible form. The force fields she generates are strong enough to withstand supernatural threats, including the dangerous black mist of dark sorcerers. Manipulating gravity also lies within Zatanna's reach, as she can make objects so heavy that they crash through floors, or lighten entire areas so that everyone floats freely through space. At her most compassionate, Zatanna possesses perfect healing abilities. She can completely restore physical injuries with a single, concise spell, as seen when she saved Batwoman after a brutal battle with Azrael. This reflects Zatanna's magical philosophy, where power is not only meant for confrontation, but also for restoration. To her, magic is not merely a weapon, but a tool of balance between destruction and rebirth, between absolute power and human compassion. The confrontation between Dr. Fate and Zatanna is always regarded as one of the most fascinating in the mystical world, because it is not merely a battle between two powerful sorcerers, but a collision between two fundamentally different natures of power. On the surface, both are masters of magic who have repeatedly saved the world from supernatural threats. However, when placed on the same scale, Dr. Fate is often judged to be clearly superior, not because Zatanna is weak, but because Fate operates on a far higher level of existence. The core of Dr. Fate power comes from Nabu, a Lord of Order with a divine nature. When Kent Nelson dons the helmet of Fate, he is no longer simply a human wielding magic, but a vessel for cosmic will. This power allows Dr. Fate to manipulate the foundational laws of reality, intervene directly in the order of the multiverse, and wield magic on a scale where the concept of limitation nearly loses its meaning. At his strongest, Fate resembles a cosmic entity rather than a traditional sorcerer, where power requires no preparation and no ritual. Zatanna, by contrast, is an exceptional Homo Magi. She possesses pure magical blood, outstanding skill, and astonishing reality manipulating abilities through backward magic. However, no matter how powerful she is, Zatanna power still operates within the framework of a sorcerer with a human essence. She requires words, focus, and conscious intent to activate her abilities. This does not make Zatanna inferior, but it establishes a clear boundary when facing an entity that has transcended the line between human and God. At his peak, Dr. Fate can overwhelm Zatanna completely. His power allows him to nullify magic, restructure space and time, and seize control of the battle from the very first moment. The disparity does not lie in talent or experience, but in the tier of existence. A cosmic sorcerer endowed with divine authority confronting a genius-level human sorcerer is a comparison that is almost inherently unbalanced. When these two sources of power clash directly, the difference becomes difficult to deny. Dr. Fate is not only stronger in raw energy, but also superior on a fundamental level. One side is a cosmic sorcerer backed by primordial order, the other is a brilliant sorceress operating on a human level. Even though Zatanna can create explosive moments and even surprise her opponent through creativity and decisiveness, she is still unlikely to break through. Fate nearly absolute control over reality. When Dr. Fate unleashes his full power, victory is almost overwhelming. Fate can negate Zatanna magic at the conceptual level, stripping away her ability to manipulate reality before she can even complete the intent of a spell. This does not diminish Zatanna value, but instead further emphasizes the extraordinary position of Dr. Fate within the hierarchy of power. What do you think about this battle? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you all very much.